Welcome to Built by a Boss. I'm your host, Evolyn Brooks, journalist, award-winning producer, author, founder of In My Solitude, LA. On this podcast, you'll hear unique origin stories, growth strategies, meaningful insights, and actionable advice from successful female founders and entrepreneurs who are creating businesses and careers with intention. But on today, it's all about wrapping our heads around this new year known as 2023. Now, usually I am the queen of lists and resolutions, but this year it's all about focusing on my top 5. My list has turned into 5 well-intentioned bullet points that are connected to the most important things I need to accomplish each day for the current and future me. This practice of drilling down to the essentials has really allowed me to direct more time toward the projects I value and also find the focus to finish them. Now, I know sticking to the top 5 isn't easy. We all struggle with that, and it appears that we are not alone. Did you know that a whopping 92% of people that set New Year's goals never actually achieve them? Now, this is according to research by the University of Scranton, but it has me thinking, what do the remaining 8% know that we don't know? So apparently, they're not just shortening their list of things to do, but they're also making their goals more specific and challenging, but not too hard. Sometimes we make our goals so major that we're so far away from the actual execution of it that we get discouraged. So it's truly about breaking those goals down into smaller parts. But here's the thing. Specificity is important, but mindset matters too. Now, I know for many of us, we don't always want to admit this, but there is an emotional payoff for not finishing what we start. Now, listen closely. When we don't finish our projects, our art, our screenplay, whatever it is we're working on, we never find out how good we are and how good we're not. When we don't finish things, or worse yet, never start, we give ourselves permission to live in a fantasy world of who we could be, who we might be, versus who we are right now in the here and now. When we don't finish, we live in untested territory, and we risk becoming delusional by comparing ourselves to others who were brave enough to fulfill their own promise. So at the end of the day, it's not about comparing ourselves to others who have done the work, but really focusing on the work that we have yet to do to become the thing that we truly want in our life. And here's the caveat. Sometimes nothing of significance happens in the outside world when we finish our work. There's no big applause. There's nobody saying, "Great job." There's no award, and there's no reward other than knowing that we finished what we started and honored the commitment that we made to ourselves. We earned our own trust. And for me, that's 99.9% of the battle. When you know and trust that you can show up for yourself, it's all the motivation that you need. But back to finishing. Finishing also allows us to separate the outer self from our inner self and understand that we are good enough, but that has nothing to do with the work. The work is just not there yet. So we can separate ourselves out of this idea that we are our work. No, we're not our work, but our work sometimes measures up and sometimes we have to keep at it. Finishing anything we care about is risky. It's a blow to the ego in most cases because the work may not be well received or it can be judged harshly. And we're like, oh my God, my world is falling apart. No, it's not. It's just that we have to do more work on the thing we're trying to do, if we so decide to. We need to know when we're good at something so that we know how to position it in our life, so that we know how to position its pursuit in our life. Is it a hobby, a career, a solo pursuit that simply brings us joy? Do we need this thing to make money? It's important to know that. And if you don't finish this thing you started, you never know how to position it in your life. You need to know the expectation of this thing that you're working on. So we're not asking it to emotionally fulfill something that it will never be able to do. We need to know what do we want from it? And are we daydreaming? And if so, how is that okay? If we daydream about winning a Pulitzer Prize or an Oscar, but we've never written a word, that's not okay. Like, we have to get at it. The bottom line is that it takes courage to create and lots of hard work to finish what we're working on. And when there is no payoff in sight, we just have to believe that what we want is truly worth the effort. Because that's the only thing that matters in the end, is that we truly believe that the effort matters. And that the act of completing this one task, this one step, this one goal is going to get us one step closer to truly making our mark and fulfilling the dream that we've always wanted to see come to fruition. So there you go. 2023, we're picking our top 5, we're focusing, and we're finishing. I'm Evolyn Brooks, and you've been listening to Built by a Boss. If you're new to the show, like this episode, and found it valuable, please take a moment to leave a 5-star review and a comment. It really helps other people find us who might like the podcast. You can check us out on social. Follow us at Built by a Boss on Instagram. Visit me at inmysolitudela.com or Evolyn Brooks on Instagram. I have content on the site like yoga classes, Reiki, meditation, a blog, and beautiful products in our shop that support your mind, body, and spirit. As always, thanks for listening. I'm so grateful for you. Until next time, be kind, be brave, be better, be a boss.